The Southwestern Vehicle Auction's summer sale is almost upon us. It takes place on the 25th of July and the viewing days are right now. You can view it from now until the 24th of July here at their palatial head office near Poole in Dorset. And the variety is off the scale. We've got anything from £300 to north of £50,000, anything from the early 30s to the early noughties. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. Right, let's start here, a Riley 1.5. Now, of course, by this time, the famous former cycle maker Riley is pretty much a badge engineered Nuffield, but these cars are fabulous. Twin SU carburetors, 66 horsepower. They're lovely to drive. I've driven the Wolseley equivalent, which is actually slightly lower powered, but this is even better, a slightly sportier one, I would say. Lovely graceful lines, really nice original condition. It's got loads of paperwork to go with it and the original green logbook, believe it or not. So a real time walk piece here, I would say. 4 to 6k guide price, absolutely fabulous. Really sort of, yeah, a wonderful car. It was meant to be the successor to the Morris Minor, of course. And what about this? The Volvo P1800 S. This is a 1968 model. They came out in 1961 and they were originally built by Jensen here in the UK with the bodies pressed up in Linwood in Scotland, but there were certainly concerns over quality with those early cars, so production was moved to Sweden in 1963. Say this is a 68 car, loads of paperwork to go with this. It's got one of those, I think, period correct sort of luggage boxes in the back seat there. The condition of it is absolutely lovely. Guide price of 12 to 14, well expected to sort of hit that. This is a wonderful example. Get bidding on that. These are great to drive as well. Quick in passing, there are two Mark I Toyota MR2s in the sale. This is a 1986 model, there's also a 1988 model, both in red. This one's for the slightly better condition of the two, and the price will reflect that, 7,500 to 9,500. So rare now, the Mark I MR2s. A lot of them have rotted away or been modified beyond all recognition. This one is absolutely beautiful. Definitely one for my money. Of course, being a Jaguar man, I have to point out this lovely 1994 Jaguar XJS 4 litre. Now, it's not the celebration model, but it's not far off. It's still got the 4 litre AJ16 engine. Its condition is remarkable. Now, what lets it down, unfortunately, it's got not huge amounts of service paperwork to back up the mileage, but the price will reflect that. You know, top condition celebration model might be sort of north of 10. This is half that price, so this is well worth a bid, I would say. These last of the line XJSs are the best I think you can buy. So, yeah, a very keen highlight for me of the sale. Okay, so basking in the glow of this bright yellow 1970 Lotus Elan is this, a 1955 Jaguar XK140 fixed head. Only about 840 of these were made, so pretty rare spec car. Guide price of 41 to 45. I think it's realistically priced at that level. It's got a lovely sort of original condition, I would say. This is not concours, but it's absolutely honest, you know, honest condition, and I just think it's absolutely beautiful. I think the 140 is the perfect blend of the original XK120 styling and the slightly more bulbous XK150 styling that followed. The interior, again, absolutely original, beautiful condition, all that kind of lovely patina. I think it's a great buy and realistically priced. XK140 motoring, definitely one for you there. Really must look at this. There's a couple of minis in the sale, but this is an Austin Mini 7, 1961. And it's running on 10-inch mini lights, but the original steel wheels do come with it. But let's just take a look inside the original kind of barren interior of those early minis. I just think it's absolutely resplendent. The lovely carpet, all the trim is immaculate here, all the fascia looks good. This is an original matching condition car. It's got 22,000 miles on the clock. We don't know if that's warranted or not, but it has got plenty of paperwork to back it up. So what a fabulous buy this could be. Okay, I really must make a passing reference to this Ford Sierra P100 pickup truck. It's a 1992. It's got the later 1.8 Dagenham turbo diesel engine. Guide price of 3,500 to 4,000. It's got 77,000 reading on the odometer, although it could easily be 177,000. But the condition is immaculate. Like someone's either really well looked after this particular example, or it's been restored at some point. Hard to tell. The interior is absolutely immaculate. A real fascination. P100, brilliant car, or pickup truck, I should say. Onto this 1963 Singer Vogue. This is one of two 1963 Singer Vogues in the sale. They're both at roughly the same guide price, so take your pick really. There's the ones who've got white wall tyres and a sort of two-tone paint job, but this is a lovely 1965 example. Not huge amounts of paperwork with this, but it's in a lovely original condition. A bit of lacquer peel on the wood veneer inside, but the interior trim is absolutely marvellous. So yeah, a real lovely kind of roots favourite, this one. Moving swiftly on, we've got here a 1987 Vauxhall Cavalier Mark II convertible. Real rarity, these things. I was always fascinated that Vauxhall even offered it for sale, but this one's an Irmscher spec. I'm not actually sure what the Irmscher spec came with, but they were a famous German modifier that offered things like stiffer springs and all those kind of modified upgrades. But this one is in remarkable condition. It's the 1.8 fuel injection engine with the convertible. It's got the lovely 3-spoke sporty steering wheel that I think came with the SRI models. It's got the original kind of high bolstered sports seats and those lovely cassette tape holders that were de rigueur in the 80s. But yeah, a real curiosity, this one. 1987, like I say, 79,000 miles on the odometer and a guide price of £1,900 to £2,900. I just think these are, yeah, they're super rare. If you want an unusual 4-seater convertible for the summer, then you could do a lot worse than this. So from this Vauxhall Cavalier convertible over to this, a 1935 Austin 10 Lichfield. We think this was restored at some point, retrimmed and resprayed, but it's in remarkable sort of original patina condition, you could say. But that just means it's ready to use and enjoy straight away, right? So realistic guide price of £3,500 to £4,500. You want a bit of pre-war classic motoring, then you could do a lot worse than this. I think this is an absolutely glorious piece. It's been christened Esmeralda at some point in its past, and it's got that emblazoned on the side there. So what a lovely piece to enjoy in the summer. You've even got some shades there in the background to enjoy. I think it curiously had semaphore indicators, but they've been replaced by modern electric ones, which I guess makes it a little bit safer on modern roads. Okay, I'm a big fan of the R129 Mercedes SL. I really think they're coming into the own, particularly as R107 values continue to head north. So this is a fairly early one, 1990, hence the orange indicator lenses here. But crucially, this is the 5-litre V8 model, an absolute weapon. £7,500 to £8,500 guide price. Loads of history to back up the mileage of 85 on the clock. And I just think this is a resplendent example. It's not absolutely concourse by any means, but jump in this, use it and enjoy it and really savour that V8 performance. Probably at the other end of that scale, if you want to open top motoring, we've got this Triumph TR7. It's a 1981, so it's got to be one of the last around. But I have to say, the guide price is superb. £2,500 will bag you this car. Now, there'll be loads of TR purists that lament the TR7, not a proper TR, not a patch on the TR6, etc, etc. But personally, I love the wedge styling. Yes, people bemoan the 1.8 sort of Marina engine that's in it, but actually they drive pretty well. The interior of this one is immaculate. It's got that original kind of checked interior. All the fascia, which is a bit cheap and plasticky, has lasted really well in this example. So yeah, Triumph TR7, last of the TR line, and I just think absolutely fabulous and very realistically priced as well. Okay, love a Rover SD1. Who could not love that beautiful swooping styling? Again, prices of these are going up and up and up. So this is a very well priced example. It's a 3.5 litre Vanden model imported from South Africa. So it's the manual. It's actually really decent condition. It will need a bit of tidying up, but you know, it's straight, it's original, it looks fabulous. It's got a decent amount of paperwork to back it up. Well worth your attention. But Rolls Royce, we love a bit of Rolls Royce action here on Classics World, and here's a lovely example. This is a 1974 Rolls Royce Silver Shadow. So it's a Silver Shadow 1. It's got loads of paperwork to it. It's in immaculate condition. Guide price reflects that. You can get Silver Shadows cheaper, but I'd heed caution on this one. This one's got plenty of paperwork to back up the condition, and I think this is well worth the guide price of 10 to 12,000. Buy this now, and you can be enjoying the 60th anniversary of the Silver Shadow next year in 2025. But jumping back to before the war, must just take a look at this Alvis Firefly Tourer from 1933. Alvis was, of course, one of the legendary Coventry car makers pre-war, and this was, you know, one of their many follies at that point. I mean, this is just absolutely remarkable. It's got loads and loads of paperwork to go with it. Believe it or not, this has only just had 2 owners, with the most recent one having it for about 8 years or so. There's been loads of recommissioning work and the paperwork to support that as well. But despite that, it's still got that wonderful original patina. I think if you just want something to make a real statement out on the road and on the classic car shows, you could do a lot worse than this pre-war Alvis Firefly Tourer, an absolute wonderful example. So if Joe was here, he'd be lamenting the rise of the SUV, but before SUVs were even a thing, you'd be driving something like this, hopefully, a Ford Sierra gear injection 4x4. This is absolutely peak Sierra spec for me. This is a wonderful example. 1989, it's got the 2.9 Cologne V6 engine, £5,500 to £6,500 guide price. The condition is remarkable. It looks so straight and original. It's got the original wheels. That lovely plush velour interior trim is unmarked. It's got all the original roof bars, sunroof. The paperwork is a little bit lacking on this one, but it's got the original owner's handbooks. It's got 50,000 miles on the odometer, and judging by the condition, it's highly likely that that's genuine, but we can't be sure. But I mean, either way, as a fascination, we know the love of Fords, and that's driving values up. But something like this, really rare spec, I just think it's wonderful. We'll take a quick walk down the line because there's some more curiosities I want to show you outside, but I mean, just watch some fabulous cars. We've got a Chevrolet Camaro here. We've got a lovely Triumph Vitesse, one of a couple of R107 SLs. Here we've got an MGB Roadster, complete with the luggage rack. A bit more modern here, maybe the Alpha Spider, something to get your attention. We've got an Armstrong Siddeley, don't even know how to spell it. Fantastic, really resplendent example. And if to mark the variety at the sale, look, right next to it, a Ford Focus RS. These are legends in the making, really are incredible. Got a Capri Mark II here. This was actually in a previous sale, I think in the winter, but it's since had a respray. And I have to say, it looks absolutely phenomenal. But anyway, look, let's head outside. I've got some other fascinations to show you. So when is a VW camper not a VW camper? When it's a Subaru Sambar, 1992. Well, quirky little thing. Know nothing about it, but I'd buy it just for those cool, cute looks. But what I really wanted to bring your attention to was this fairly early Mark III Cavalier. Now, it's not been MOT'd for about 15 years, and it's definitely sold as a non-runner, but it's been sold as a no reserve sale. So I've got to say, if you're really interested in that sort of early 90s motoring, and this is where Vauxhall really upped their game and basically overtook Ford, I think, in that kind of medium fleet sector with this Mark III Cavalier. I think the styling was fantastic. The interior is in remarkably good fettle. The gear lever surround is a little bit frayed, but the interior seats, the fabric is really good. All the trims there. I just think someone needs to take this on and bring it to its former glory, because it's absolutely wonderful. What doesn't need to be brought back to its former glory is this Rover 100. It's a Kensington SE spec. Fairly late car, 95, they phased them out in 1997. Only 22,000 miles on the odometer. We think that's sort of genuine. It's got a decent amount of paperwork for it. And again, these are getting super rare now as a sort of last of the line of the Metro as it was, that was originally launched in 1980. So I do think this is wonderful. There's plenty more out here. I've just got to point out the restoration project Triumph Stag there. We've got this Jaguar XJ40 limousine thing here. There's a couple of Vauxhall Novas. There's a Volvo 940 Wentworth estate back there as well. But there's a last few selection just over in the other compound, which we'll go and have a look for the sale. Okay, so if a Jaguar XK140 is at the top end of the price scale, this 2002 Hyundai Elantra is probably at the bottom end of the scale. Guide price of £200 to £500. Now, look, I know it's not a classic, but it could be one day. I remember seeing a Hyundai Stella at a car show and everyone went mad for it. So listen, this is really cheap. But just buy it anyway and use it all year and just, you know, use it as sort of throwaway motoring. But if it lasts that long, keep it. You can buy this on the 25th of July and then drive it up to the Festival of the Unexceptional up in Lincolnshire 2 days later, and you'd probably be the star of the show. It's absolutely immaculate. It's even riding on original Bridgestone tyres, which I find remarkable. Quick shout out to the Peugeot 205 here, sort of poverty spec XL Auto. There's a couple of Jag XJs here, so must shout out this 2002 X308 model. So this is one of the run-out models, and it's yeah, I think people love this graceful styling, and this one's a remarkable survivor actually, which if you like this kind of generation of Jaguar, it's well worth your money. But of course, the replacement to the 308 was this, the X350. And there are two X350s in the sale. So the first up is this 2.7 V6 turbo diesel, which is a decent enough car. But look, I might be biased, but there is another X350 in the sale, which I really must point out, and it's this lovely Pacific Blue 4.2 Sport. It, of course, is our old one, our former project car. You know loads about it. We've done countless videos on it. It's had a respray. All 4 dampers have been replaced at vast expense. We're selling it with no reserve, so fingers crossed it gets a price that it deserves. But just in front of it, another little curiosity, 2000 Citroen Saxo VTR. So that was the kind of warm hatch 1.68 valve model. Remarkably straight condition, a real bargain price, 750 to £1,000. Think how much Peugeot 205 GTIs go for now. I know this isn't one of those, but you know, you're not far off in terms of that kind of era and that sort of fun French fizzy hot hatch. So yeah, well worth your while. And just to its right is the other Volvo 940 in the sale. This one is a saloon model as opposed to the Wentworth Estate that's over there. 1991. It's an auto. I don't know, I've got a Volvo which I've got to scratch one day, and this could well be that particular car, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, what a variety we've got in the sale here at the Southwestern Vehicle Auctions summer sale. It takes place on the 25th of July, and the viewing days are already happening. Viewing started on the 20th, so yesterday, and runs until the 24th. So you can come down and see it in person. It's also, registration process is all open now for online bidding. You can bid over the phone. Come down here in person. They're a very approachable bunch. All the cars are here on site for you to see. What a fantastic variety. Hope you've enjoyed the sale. Have a look around. Tell us in the comments which cars have caught your eye. All the details in the description. In the meantime, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.